enjoy your life while you still have one. Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Alex. I am an M1. I wanted to make a video really fast for you talking about 4 things that I would recommend doing once you have gotten into medical school. I know that the transition from getting accepted to like figuring out what you're going to do with your life and then actually going to medical school is a little bit uncharted, or at least I felt like it was, so I hope that this is helpful for you. I always seem to make videos like this around when I have exams, so it is Saturday night. I have an exam on Tuesday, which seems like a long time, but it's really not. So it's gonna be short, it's gonna be brief, and I hope that that is helpful for you. I have notes on my computer, so if you see me looking away, that's what's happening. Okay, so the first thing I would recommend is finding a place to live. I think for me, this took a big weight off of my shoulders. It's not necessarily something that you have to get figured out right away. I know some people who like got in off the wait list and found a place to live like a week before school started. Definitely possible, just a little bit more stressful than figuring it out. I feel like this lessened my load, and if you're anything like me, this might make you feel better. I would recommend going through what I've gone through. I don't know if you've watched my finance video, which I can maybe put here if I remember. In my finance video, I talk about how I looked for like the cheapest housing, and in my house tour, I was like, listen, it's not perfect, but we can make it work. One thing I will recommend to you is to choose something that you don't have to like put up with, because something that I learned in medical school, like you think that you've been busy before, you think that you've had to put up with a lot before, and then you come to medical school, so you don't need extra things to weigh you down. So I would find a place, even if it's a little bit more expensive, that you like and you feel comfortable and you feel safe in, and it's not like a constant struggle with your safety, with bugs, with broken appliances, with fires and floods. Just speaking from experience, would recommend choosing something a little bit more expensive if you have to. Something close where you can make friends and study with people and come home late at night and be safe when you get into your place. So would recommend to do that, even if it's a touch more expensive, just speaking from my own experience. So that sort of comes into the second point, which is like figure out your finances. So there's a lot that goes into this, and I think it probably deserves its own video, and if I feel brave enough, I might make that video separately. But what I remember from figuring finances out is like, number one, figuring out how to view your financial aid package. I think our financial aid package came out and like I didn't know how to view it for a while, so it had been out for a little while and I didn't know. So that is something. So figure out how much aid you have, figure out how much your rent is going to be, or about how much your rent is going to be, and then start like applying for loans if you need them. If you don't, congratulations, but most of us will need loans. So applying for those loans on studentaid.gov, making sure you're filling out all the proper paperwork. That just takes a while. You also might need your parents' paperwork as far as like tax returns go. Don't ask me why. My parents aren't paying for my medical school, but you might need their tax returns in order to complete that. So that's kind of like a process of getting it figured out. So it just there's a lot of hoops to jump through, so that's something you kind of want to start on early. Again, something I would recommend financially is give yourself some wiggle room. I know taking out loans is scary, and like I was thinking like, yes, I don't want to have a lot of interest. The less loans I take out, the less interest I'm gonna have. I would not recommend that you take out the full amount if you know that you need $20,000 less than that, but maybe take out like $2,000 or $3,000 more than you need, just in case something does come up, because there are a lot of like hidden finances or things that sort of pop up that you don't expect. Also, you might just be kind of miserable in medical school and might need like one extra ice cream cone a month than you have budgeted. So just leave some wiggle room so that you don't have to worry about that on top of worrying about medical school. If you can tell, there's a common thread here. It's like you want to make your life as easy as possible outside of medical school if you can. Okay, so the third thing is figuring out like your health related things, and I know that this feels like unrelated and I didn't really think about having to do this until I got into medical school, but you will probably need a TB test, a recent TB test. I know that for Vanderbilt we had to have 2 recent TB tests, which were like a month apart, so you kind of have to get started like 2 months in advance. One thing I will say is I think we hold medical schools and like admissions and people who care about our like health records in medical school to like this super high standard, and they're going to be so mad at you if you don't have this vaccine by this certain time because you started late or you can't get your TB test done at the right time. It's get it done as fast as you can, but it's really not a huge deal. You're not going to get kicked out if you can't get your TB test like at the exact right date. Just try to get it done as soon as you can. They'll be flexible with you if they're anything like they were here. So this is not an endorsement of just like completely putting it off so you have to start all over when you get to school, but just recommending like don't freak out about it. You don't need extra stress. Like people will work with you if you can't get it done. I know for me personally, like hepatitis B is something you need to be vaccinated against. And I was vaccinated, but my titers were low, so I didn't have antibodies. So I had to get like 4,000 booster shots and paid $100 for each of them. So that's another finance thing. Like I wasn't expecting to pay $500 for booster shots, but I did. So they worked with me on that, and it wasn't a big deal. And I was doing that as I was in medical school. So it wasn't like, well, you didn't meet the medical criteria, you can't be here. So this is like, again, you need to make sure you're up on your vaccines if that's something you participate in. TB tests, making sure you have all of that information like available and filled out for the school. And I feel like for me, I was filling this out during the pandemic, so it just was like overwhelming, and maybe it's not as bad as I remember, but just something to think about if you didn't know that that was something you might have to do. And the fourth and final thing, and maybe the most important, is to like relax a little bit. A lot of people ask like, do I need to pre-study? Is there anything that I need to work on before I come to medical school? What do I do in the summer before? Do I need to like download decks for Anki and start working on them? Please don't do that. You will learn literally everything you need to know in medical school. If you start studying over the summer, you don't know what your curriculum is, you don't know what you're going to be learning, you're going to fill your brain with things you don't need, or you're going to forget it, you're not going to have a fun summer. It's literally not going to make a difference. So I think it would be better for you mentally, educationally, etc., to just take a break. Do not study over the summer. Read a book. Go on vacation safely, wear your mask, get vaccinated, those sorts of things. Enjoy your life while you still have one, because medical school is really, really busy. So just like enjoy your break. Please don't study. I'm begging you, as an M1, as an almost M2, do not study over the summer. Don't do that. It's illegal. Okay, so that's all I have for you. It's a bit short. I may come at you with some financial things. I know that some people have been looking forward to like my financial update, which I said that I would do last summer. So that first video was from probably like a year ago. And so it's about time for my financial update video. I might be doing that soon. It's hard telling with how medical school is, like when I'm gonna get around to that, but I will try. Thank you guys for being here. Be sure to like and subscribe and comment and all of those things. And let me know if you have any specific questions. I would love to help out or make a video on a specific topic that you are curious about. So I will talk to you later. Hope you're having a lovely day or evening or morning, etc. Bye.